In the previous video, I explained why I think that mitigating market tipping in the digital economy will be the biggest challenge of competition authorities in the next 10 years. In this video, I list what I think should be the main priorities of competition authorities while facing this challenge. Preventing digital markets from tipping and untip digital markets efficiently will require competition authorities to cooperate better and to use more innovative tools and methods. I think that the framework of the classic antitrust and merger control policies can still be relevant for this issue. In fact, I think that competition authorities should punish customer lock-in practices and promote multi-homing and open system competition. Therefore, they should construct dedicated and innovative theories of harm, as well as impose remedies that will be able to increase interoperability as well as data portability and consumer information. Digital companies use innovative methods for their marketing and commercial decisions as well as for their IT infrastructures. Therefore, competition authorities have themselves to be more interoperable with the markets. They should constantly adapt their tool to the technological progress, and therefore they should invest in the use of new techniques such as machine learning or artificial intelligence to understand and predict better companies' behaviors, as well as invest in statistical software such as R or Python that will enable them to treat big data. They should also broaden the range of their experts to other fields such as data science and IT. Digital markets encounter no barrier. Therefore, it is impossible to fight against market tipping with local policy implementations. Therefore, a common policy should be conducted by the European competition authorities, and this implies closer interactions within the European competition network. For that, competition authorities could develop, for example, a common filing platform for all competition-related cases in the Europe and member states. To sum up, I think that to fight against market tipping in the digital economy, competition authorities will have to provide a joint answer to the problem and use more updated methods, tools, as well as theories of harm and proposed remedies when there is one needed.
I am now going to talk about how competition policy, and especially national competition authorities, could still play an essential role in ensuring pluralism-friendly decisions concerning media mergers. Given that the Commission is opposed to conducting a media plurality assessment on its own, and that it cannot adopt any harmonizing measures in that area, it should, however, support the competent national authorities in fulfilling this task. Article 21, paragraph 4 of the merger regulation gives the member states the possibility to prevent a merger by taking appropriate measures to protect legitimate interests. This provision has barely been applied to protect media pluralism. However, media pluralism is considered a ground in the public interest in many member states' national merger control regimes that can be taken into account by the competent authority in order to block a media merger. National media plurality assessments might differ from one country to the other. In Austria, for example, it is up to the competition authority to conduct a media plurality review. In other countries, such as Ireland, a different independent administrative authority conducts this assessment. Considering these differences, the European Union could create a media plurality working group composed of representatives of the Commission and the national competent authorities that conduct such a review. The mandate of this working group would be like the one of the EU merger working group, that is, identifying possible improvements and exploring possible solutions with a view to elaborate best practices. This could lead to more effective and coherent plurality reviews where media plurality-related notifications have been made in multiple jurisdictions. In addition, soft law instruments seem to be an adequate option in this area because of the member states' competence and the possibility to swiftly adapt them to the constantly changing circumstances in the media sector in today's digitalized world. The EU could adopt recommendations based on Article 167, paragraph 5 of the TFEU, or Article 11, paragraph 2 of the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the EU. First, the Commission could recommend to the Member States to designate an authority to conduct such an assessment. In addition, in order to control the opinion-forming power of the companies at issue, the competent authority should assess such a case when those companies exceed a certain threshold of attention shares on the audiences market on which they compete for the viewer's attention. The more attention shares the merger accounts for, the more difficult it would be to justify the restriction of diversity of opinions. A more pluralism-friendly outcome can also lead to a positive outcome from a competition perspective. Therefore, the Commission should express its view on the design of such a review and how it should be carried out. This method could result in more coordinated and pluralism-friendly approach towards media mergers without adopting harmonizing measures. This approach would benefit not only consumers, but also Europeans as citizens.
Hi everyone. In my previous video, I shared my view that algorithmic collusion is going to be the biggest challenge that competition authorities will face in 10 years' time. In this video, I will explain what, in my view, could be done to address such a challenge. First and foremost, competition authorities should upgrade. And I don't mean upgrading to Windows 11. Rather, they should focus on upgrading the available tools they rely on in their work. It should come as no surprise that competition authorities lack resources and experience in dealing with cases that rely less on communication between people and more on circulation of raw data. What is more, algorithms operate at much higher speed. Therefore, an anti-competitive outcome on the market could be achieved in less time. Thus, it is reasonable to conclude that by investing in its own algorithmic solution, a competition authority could increase detection of anti-competitive outcomes and illicit activities among algorithms, and on the other hand, provide more information for the assessment of such a behavior. Furthermore, specific rules can be imposed, providing for entities or undertakings that rely on algorithms in setting prices, for example, and which have more than 15% market share in a specific market, to share source codes with the Commission or another competition authority, thus allowing the competition authority to have an insight into how the specific algorithmic solution operates, which would provide for a better understanding of the solution and better understanding of the dynamics in specific markets. Also, a viable option is always fine-tuning the guidelines, whether those are horizontal or vertical guidelines. And in fine-tuning the guidelines, the competition authorities should focus especially on the exchange of information, because what people need to make strategic decision is not the same information that algorithms need to reach a consensus between themselves. Clearly explaining which information should not be made available public and thus to other algorithms for use would help avoid reaching a equilibrium that results in anti-competitive outcome. And with that, hopefully, competition authorities will manage to successfully address the challenge before them. After all, they still have some 10 years' time.